Here we go, jumping into Chapter 10, Lesson 9, starting with division and fractions. So I'm just going to jump into it. We are going to do things a little differently because we don't have fraction tiles, so I'm going to show you a different method, but it will still get you the right answer. We're going to jump into the first example problem. Remy, not Remington, Remy has 2 gallons of lemonade. She needs to divide the lemonade into quarter-gallon containers. How many quarter-gallon containers does she need? So we're dividing those 2 gallons by a quarter. And we're dividing by, unit fractions, which means that the numerator is 1. So the number on top is 1. So anytime we're talking about unit fractions, numerator is 1. So they used models for this one. Get some of my stuff out of the way on my desk. They used models for this one. They used 2 whole models that they're going to divide by 1/4. So they're going to split it into quarters. So all we have to do is ask ourselves how many quarters are in 2 wholes, and we count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for our answer of 8. So she's going to need 8 containers for her lemonade. So that's when we take a whole number and divide it by a unit fraction. Now the next problem we look at is going to take a unit fraction and divide it by a whole number. So just the opposite. So we're taking 1/5 and dividing it by 2. Now they're using fraction tile, and like I said, we don't have those. But we're going to think about it that we're taking 1/5 and splitting it into 2, which means it's going to be 2 times as small. So in order to solve this one, we're just going to take 2 times 5 is going to give us 10. And our 1 is going to stay the same. Now in a future lesson we'll talk about why, but for today we're just going to solve it like that, thinking that 1/5, if we divide it by 2, we're going to be twice as small. So we can multiply 2 times 5 to give us 10. Like I said, our 1 is going to stay the same, 1/10. We'll do a couple more of those. Let's try number 3. Actually, let's try number 4. So again, we're dividing a whole number by a fraction. I'm going to use models, so we're going to take 1 whole, and we have another whole for 2 wholes. Now we're dividing it into fifths, so we're going to split it into roughly 5 equal parts on both of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many fifth tiles? So each of these represents 1/5. How many of those are in 2 wholes? Well, if we count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives us a total of 10 tiles. So again, when we're taking a whole number and dividing it by a fraction, our answer is going to actually increase and get bigger because we're taking 2 whole tiles and splitting them up into even smaller tiles. So we have even more tiles that we're working with. And let's try another one of these. Let's try number 8. So now we're doing, again, the opposite. We're taking a fraction, a unit fraction, and dividing it by a whole number. So again, I could set it up that this is 1/2, and I'm going to split that half into even smaller parts. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to split it into 3 equal parts, so it's a half, and we're splitting it even smaller. So it's 3 times as small. So I'm going to take 3 times 2 to give me 6. And my 1 up top, my numerator, is going to stay the same. So it's going to be 1/6. And again, we'll talk about why that is in a future lesson. That'll just get you started for today.